Hi, baby.
We're live.
We're live. Oh, we do have so many messages. What if we were all playing the trumpets right now? It was just us.
I'm still taking lessons.
Is this the Canadian brass playing?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Wow, breakfast with Bendu.
Good morning, y'all.
Yeah, morning. Hi. I was running a little late.
It's all Chris's fault.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone in the chat. Good morning. So, wait, let's see here. Ion Cannon ordered already off the rip, bringing out that Akbar mug. Oh, yeah. That Akbar mug's good stuff.
Oh, I love that.
Well, everyone, we're back. Breakfast with Bendu. Hopefully, there's Tyler Page. Dude, this is exactly what I was just going to say. Countdown until YouTube shuts this down. So you'll notice we got a little different music this morning. Oh, a little New Orleans jazz. Swamp Donkey, which I'm not going to talk about what we talked about pre-show about Swamp Donkeys. But I didn't want to get shut down. I thought maybe the samples in our normal intro bumper was what flagged us last week. Or maybe it was some Sith Lord that came across our stream and was like, yo, these dudes are having too much fun. Shut us down. So, hey, it's been over a week, right? It's been like 2 weeks since then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. It's been a wild. There's been 98 to 400 different actors rumored to be in Mandalorian since we've last broadcast. So that's
all
cool.
true. Every single one of them is true.
So I'm excited to discuss all of that. I made a post last night at SW Friend Show about bagels, and then Scott was like, dude, what about donuts? Bro, I got you covered, man.
Nice.
I got this beautiful blueberry sugar donut. So, hey, there's Scott. I know he's already in the chat,
donuts.
so I got this. What do they call this?
You know
in the
that's a
Star Wars
cake
universe?
donut, right?
Yeah, it's a cake
Right?
donut.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Oh, this is so good. What is the word for donut in Star Wars universe?
Donut.
mm,
Donut.
Nah.
That'd be crazy. Hey, everyone in the chat, sound off from where you're at. We'd love to see where everyone's joining us from. I'll get this this really sad Star Wars music. Oh, it's picked up.
Oh,
We're
look
going
at
good.
that. Right
Yeah.
on cue.
Like this. Okay. I see Maggie's wearing a Cara Dune shirt today. Nice.
Yes.
I want everyone to know I'm representing my favorite Star Wars film today. You can't call me a hater because I'm wearing the shirt. What?
I'm wearing Boba Fett for Kyle.
Oh, man.
Is that the Boba
Dang.
Fett cereal
Yeah.
shirt?
Yep.
Yeah, nice. No, but yo, don't call me a hater, anyone. I'm wearing it right now for you.
Well,
So
you know.
it's true. Sleeves are off, baby. Ready to roll. All right. So this is I have nothing prepared for today. Nothing prepared. We got a lot of people from Florida. We got some New York up in here. Excelsior, Minnesota.
Oh, somebody's in your living room, Chris.
Oh yeah, that's that would be
Whoa.
weird if I didn't know who
I
that
hope
was.
you already knew she was there.
That would be weird. Oh my goodness. So yeah, hey, we don't have a format today. Hit us with all of your questions, all of your comments. We had a really fun time doing our Shoot from the Hip episode, which just came out this week, where we answered all of our friends' questions. We got a ton of them sent in, and really, Justin and Kyle, this is your chance to chime
I was
in.
going to say, if we don't have anything to talk about, we can touch on some of those questions again.
I will say this. We got a question sent in by Fetmatic, so at Fetmatic, and it was about the different class of Jedi Star Cruisers. So and I saw Justin, you liked this question on Twitter. So I figured
it's the ETA one versus the Delta 7, right? Which one's better?
Correct. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I like the styling of the ETA 2s better than the Delta 7s, but I mean the Delta 7 is a pretty fantastic
We're
ship.
such nerds, dude. We're ready to go.
Well, this one I just got, so this one is hard to find, and I just picked this one up. It is pretty sweet though, because like it's a sharp looking ship. It's fast.
You really like that one better?
No, I like the ETA too.
Okay.
like
Yeah,
the
I
other
don't
one.
like that one. You know why? And I made a comment on the show, and I wanna add to it. The reason why I don't like that ship is because it reminds me of Mace Windu, and I didn't fully explain. Well, hang on. I didn't fully explain why. It's because do you remember the video game Jedi Starfighter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Mace
I love
Windu's
that
on,
game.
like he's got a giant head on the cover and his little
Well.
tiny starship. Well, yeah, I know.
Sort of metaphor, but
right. So yeah, Justin, I figured you would have liked that question
Mhm.
because that's right up your alley, ships and all those things.
I
So.
like the design of the ETA too a little bit better. It's a little bit more efficient. Like if you notice, the droid is right in front of the cockpit on this versus on the other one where it's to the
Right.
side. It seems a little bit distracting when your droid is like right in front of you. I wouldn't want to fly that way. So
Yeah,
I
especially if you
the
have like
other
an
one a little better.
R5, like a tall dome. Yeah, like you
Right, the
can't,
tall
yeah.
dome ones, like, dude, I can't
Right,
see it.
right. That's so weird. That is so weird.
Yeah, but I like the other ones. They're a little bit sharper looking, I think, in my opinion.
I like what Josh said on the show about the TIE fighter cockpit almost.
Yeah.
And I guess I never really
does.
thought about that until you brought that up, Josh. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe that's why I like that better too. But there's a lot more going on with that ship. Kyle, what about you? What's your preferred style Jedi Starfighter?
I've been laughing this whole time because, like, of every single question you asked, I have almost zero opinion on this at all. But sure, yeah, I like that one too. I've literally never thought about it.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, I think I like the one. See, I don't even know what they're called, but I like the one from Sith better than from early in the Clone Wars.
ETA. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I don't have a reason, but
There's a version of Anakin's Delta 7 that had the hyperdrive like built right into it. Like the ETA2s are like these use those little rings, right? They dock and then they use the ring. His version of this,
Which
has
I always
giant,
got yelled
like,
at.
pod racing things on the bottom.
dude, I got yelled at on I got called out on Twitter because I said the same thing. Remember, Maggie and Josh, we researched this before the show.
Yeah.
And it's in Wikipedia says that these come with a class 1 hyperdrive.
Mhm.
Turns out, yes, they do, but it does require a docking ring to go into
Oh.
yeah. So I got called out by Fetmatic, who asked the question.
wait. So
Ah.
it has a hyperdrive. What's the ring
what's
for?
the
That
point of
makes
having a
no
ring?
sense to
Nah,
me.
yeah.
Don't know, man. Don't know.
Also, are those rings just around? Do you just leave it wherever
like,
you
yeah,
are?
yeah.
What if you don't go back home? I don't know.
Just space
Seems-
junk, man. Yeah,
yeah.
right. Like, what happens if someone like just bumps it out of orbit a little bit and just starts floating away
Yeah.
from the planet? Like, yeah, man, they might have a nice GPS. They might have built out a nice GPS in the Star
Yeah, I'm
Wars
sure there
galaxy.
was some
We'll
kind
see.
Mhm.
plan.
I want to know what everyone's snacking on because it is breakfast with Bendu. I got this donut in honor of our friend Scott, who called me out on Twitter. So I got a donut for you, sir. I know you're in the chat. What's up, Farm Boy? Good to have you back in the chat. Kyle, do you want to respond to any of the questions that were asked on our latest Shoot from the Hip episode?
There was a lot. And
Yeah,
I really
it was
want
awesome.
to. I really want to respond to the people answering them. Frankly,
Let's do it. We're right here.
I don't know. Whatever. Are there any questions in the chat? Are there any questions you guys didn't get to? What do we want to talk about?
What was the most
I know you said you
controversial-
wanted to talk about your thoughts on the sequel trilogy at some point.
Always. I never not want to talk about the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
But no, what did you want? What did we say that might have been a little controversial for you?
There were thoughts on the Gray Jedi.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna call Josh out because he said that Anakin was probably the best pilot, not named Han Solo, and I think that's so crazy to say that Han Solo would be a better pilot than a Force user. But
Well, so that was
he is
the
great.
thing. Yeah, the thing, and I said this in our chat, but I'm glad you brought it up anyway because I forgot when I said that I said to Chris and Maggie before we got started that I was giving him more credit because he wasn't a Force user, but then I didn't say that when I actually talked about it on the show.
It was a deleted scene, unfortunately.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
and as we know, deleted scenes aren't canon, so I'm glad you brought it up so I could.
Okay. Yeah, it's on the record now.
So
That
it's-
makes sense
yeah,
to me.
no,
You
I
gave
under-
him a handicap.
Yeah, so I understand that Anakin is a better pilot than him, but I wonder without the Force ability, I think Han Solo, is He has more like natural piloting ability, I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay, well, in that scenario, are you giving force powers to Han Solo because you can't take them away from Anakin? That's ridiculous.
Oh my
I
God.
guess.
Could you imagine Han Solo with force powers?
Oh, he's a total Sith Lord, man. There's no way he could resist.
No way.
His
He's
ego's
got a
too
heart of
big.
gold. He's got a heart of gold. He's not a Sith Lord.
Oh,
I
it is
don't
a
know.
shame that we never got more of Ben Solo piloting, considering his ancestry. He's got Anakin and Han. I mean,
That's true.
Yeah, but we got.
it wasn't enough. It wasn't nearly enough.
Well, and maybe
He never, like, showed off.
technically, my comment could have meant that not that Han Solo was a better pilot, but that Ben was a better pilot than Anakin.
There you go, Josh.
Wait, are we really disputing whether Ben Solo or Han Solo is a better pilot? Is that
Why
what
not?
is that what I just
Why
stumbled
not?
into after I went to go look for my Galaxy's Edge cookbook?
Well, Ben Solo
What
has force
happened here? I
powers.
left for like 3 seconds.
Well, no, the thought process being that so if there's a dispute between like Anakin and Han, but then it's made weird because it's not really fair because of the Force ability. Well, then you have Han's son and Anakin's grandson who has both the solo piloting talent and the Force ability.
Would we have liked to have seen Han Solo in a pod race against Anakin Skywalker?
I think it's
No.
Han
No.
couldn't even do pod racing.
I had to ask.
Humans can't do pod racing.
Hang on. Listen. Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
Only if they have
It's
force
very
powers.
difficult.
That's like the
but
whole
no one
thing.
knew Anakin had force powers. He was just a little kid that went
Well,
on.
you don't
a
have to know you have it to have it.
How do we not know that? I mean, listen. Hang on. Hang on. Wouldn't it put Han
the credit
Solo?
to his race?
Wouldn't it put Han Solo in a higher tier of pilots if he is even
Thank you,
spoken
Tyler.
in the same category as a Skywalker, whether it be Anakin or Luke? I mean, that would put Han Solo in an elite class. I mean, in my opinion, he already is. I agree with Josh. I'm not disputing anything Josh said on the podcast, but I think that pre-Vader Anakin is probably one of the. I mean, cinematically the best pilot that we have seen, but Han Solo's right behind him. And that's even throwing Luke in the gutter and Lando in the gutter. Listen, what the hell did Lando do in the Death Star 2? Dude, that Return of the Jedi Lando is a baller, man. Like,
Okay, well, since everybody's already upset, how about this? What did Han Solo ever do without the Falcon? Boom. Like maybe it's all the ship.
that's what I'm saying. He needs to get on a pod
Lauren,
racer.
thank you. I said that the other day. Harrison Dula.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
A lot
well,
of, there's a
She's
lot of good
everything
pilots
and
out
anything.
I don't think anyone's ever going to dispute Harrison Dula. I think Harrison Dula and Han Solo are a great tandem of non-force using pilots.
Han had a really good ship.
there. Dash might be a little.
So does
upset
Hera.
You said that.
Dash Rendar, the
he might be a
Outrider.
little upset you said that.
That's what we need in Solo too. They need to get the Disney Plus.
Erica
Like,
Quill, she's a good
Hey,
pilot. Like
We don't need Dash Rendar being a pilot isn't necessarily even canon at this point. So
well, they called him a pilot in that teen novel.
Oh, did they?
That
Okay.
YT novel, yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I just knew that they said his name. I wasn't sure that they actually.
Isn't almost like every adult main character in the Star Wars universe a pilot, like to some
Yeah.
degree? Is there anybody who just can't, who's like, oh,
Well,
I'm stuck here, can't
It
drive
doesn't even
anything?
matter.
Like,
It doesn't even matter if they're adults. I mean, we got to see Trace
Right.
pilot a ship immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, her first intergalactic, star cruiser. She was right away. I don't know that.
it
whole-
just can't be that complicated, frankly.
not really, dude. I mean, she got right up there.
Yeah, because wasn't Poe Dameron even hailed as one of the best pilots?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for bringing up Poe, because I think
Yeah.
some of Poe's moves are sick, man. His
He
pilot
did
is
actually
he was
do
a really
some,
good
like-
pilot.
mhm.
yeah.
His whole thing on the Dreadnought was pretty intense. That's like some of the most technical flying we've seen.
Yes.
Most other people
agreed.
are just going very fast. Right?
Let's not forget Rey's piloting in Force Awakens when she
that
first
was
helmed
very
the Falcon.
slick too.
That was super cool. I actually just came across that clip this morning. That's why it's fresh in my mind. That was a badass sequence. Force
But
Awakens is a great.
Yet
movie.
again,
Oh,
a
yes.
Force user.
And the
Oh,
Falcon.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call, Maggie. Yeah.
Too many
I can't believe
variables.
Mythos, Mythos is going for the Chewie card. He's not even giving Han any credit at all.
Okay, I like
Mythos
it.
is
like it.
straight up Disney Star Wars hating on Han.
When you got when you got an 8 foot tall, 200-year-old expert, like that certainly doesn't hurt, right?
So does that mean
Spiced up
Nine Nub?
Poe.
So does that mean Nine Nub is makes Lando the better pilot in the Falcon and Return of the Jedi. Nine Nub is
equal to Chewbacca.
Is equal to Chewbacca?
Oh, guys,
Rebel Art just knocked me out right now.
This has spiraled absolutely out of control.
Oh my god.
A spiced up Poe. A spiced up Poe can pretty much do anything. How high was Poe at the beginning of Last Jedi? I mean, dude was probably ripped out of his mind making all those jokes and doing all that crazy run on the Dreadnought.
Skipping.
Right. Yeah. That Poe's just a trickster, a crazy guy. So listen, I can't believe we're even debating Han Solo's piloting skills. This is crazy.
This is probably one of the less debated categories out there.
I'm just saying he couldn't outpilot a Force user. I'm just saying he couldn't outpilot a Force user. That's all.
Who's the better pilot, Mark Matten from Rebels or Han Solo?
So
leader of Iron Squadron.
So you said you don't think they could outpilot a Force user. What about Obi-Wan? He hated flying.
He hated
flying.
But
he was good at.
He was not very good.
He was a good pilot.
He was good. He just hated it.
He didn't hate flying when he was an apprentice either. Like in Master and Apprentice, he really liked flying. It was something he was super into. I think Anakin probably ruined it for him because Anakin was such like a showboat butthole. That it got
I feel like Anakin ruins everything.
No, Anakin's so tiny. I love Anakin.
I love Anakin, but he seems like the kind of personality that would be like really obsessed with something to the point that everybody else had to hate it.
Yeah, no, he's intense. He's intense.
He's a lot.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Qui-Gon. Would have been a different galaxy. So Master
Stop torturing me.
Master Yoda.
That's actually another thing.
He does
that you guys said, or somebody said that Qui-Gon and Anakin would have turned to the dark side.
Yeah, no. I said they wouldn't have turned to the dark side. I said they would have dabbled in Sith mysticism and probably would have come across some of the Night Sister magic with a K. And I think that Qui-Gon being a very inquisitive, worldly Jedi or Force user, I think once he left the Order, he would have dabbled a little bit. Would he have gone as far as Dooku? Probably not. I don't think he would have done that. But maybe Anakin has always had that. I think to Anakin's core, he has that hate in him, and it was just brought out over time. Maybe if Qui-Gon dabbled and Anakin got exposed to it, he would have got a taste of it, taste of the power. Who knows? I mean, listen, because we talked also about if Qui-Gon stayed, Shmi could have been in play. They could have started a family, and then Anakin wouldn't have had that that moment where he murdered all those people, and Padme just instantly forgave him and all that BS. But anyways, I think they would have dabbled, but I do not think they would have turned to the dark side fully. I did say though, Kyle, to your point, I think that seeing a fully fleshed out pre-burn Anakin Sith Lord would look fucking awesome.
That would be visually killer. Yes. I'm definitely into that.
Yeah.
I think if Qui-Gon had survived, it would have completely changed everything because of his viewpoints, but it's hard to say because you don't see tons of him in the movie. Obviously, like there's just the one, and it's mostly him finding Anakin. But I think we know from other stuff that he is just really in touch with the Force, and I think he is like the closest to what the Jedi think they are or really want to be of any of them. And he flat out says we don't turn to the light because of like a power struggle or because it's going to serve us. You go to the light because it's the light, just because that's the way to do it. So that's where I disagree. I think he would have maybe diverged from the Jedi. He maybe would have like helped them realize what was going on, because remember, he died like 20 years before that all really came to a head. He could have he could have been the one that really understood what was going on, because he didn't get into the politics and kind of the dogma of the Jedi, which was eventually their downfall. So I think the change would have ultimately happened in that way, because his eyes were open, not to be like a total like conspiracy theorist type. But
he was
like,
woke.
He knew
he was woke.
He was in touch to the Force, and he was a Jedi because that was a way for him to be more in touch with the light side of the Force, not because it gave him status or because he could have political influence or any of those other things that came with being a Jedi. You know, so that's where I think the difference would have been.
And since you've been laying out that point, what I've been thinking of is if Qui-Gon, Anakin left the Order, and we would get that Disney Plus series of Obi-Wan being the cool uncle and would show up and be like the rad Obi. Like, I'm just thinking of a what if saga.
Oh my gosh.
Like a sitcom. Like, can you imagine?
Wait, like 2.5 Men.
Yes. And Obi-Wan would be the cool uncle, and he would just stroll in on like a weird hoverboard thing and just have his cool sunglasses. That's what I'm thinking of right now.
Do you think Star Wars would ever lean into like weirder, like niche stuff like that in their IP? Like, would they ever consider doing a what if type thing?
Man, I would love
or a comedy or a horror or
okay. Yes. Great question. I actually had the book. I threw it across the room during the Shoot from the Hip episode. They have actually done horror books pre-Disney. They've done Star Wars horror books like Red Harvest. 2 of them, Josh. And I think that could be in play for Disney Plus. I think
TV shows like that could be so awesome, and it wouldn't have to ever include like main characters that we know about, but just in universe using the things we have could be so great.
Dude, I'm sorry. These comments are killing me. Good morning, Fulcrum Dawn. I'm reading through these things. These are great.
I know. I see Marmalades. Team Marmalade. It's talking about my baby.
Oh, it's just so good. Good morning, everybody. We're having fun here. We're having a hot debate about why Han Solo is the greatest pilot in the galaxy, even over 4 seasons.
Or not, question mark.
So I think, Kyle, the What If series, I think Marvel, because they're rolling that out, the What If, possibility.
Well, they've had that comic series for ever, and they've put out some like killer stories in it too, because you can do whatever and it's like outside of canon.
Let's see what happens with, I think, aren't they doing like a show or a movie or something along those lines? Isn't that listed on their Marvel's timeline?
Yeah, there's a Marvel What If show.
It's like little,
So let's see how that does, and I think it might open up Pandora's box a little bit if it's successful.
And I believe the upcoming Doctor Strange movie is supposed to be like their version of a horror movie too.
You're right, and that's why
they're doing genre stuff, which I think is really cool.
I cannot wait for that Doctor Strange movie.
I mean, why wouldn't a wizard do horror? He's gonna meet monsters. Like, go for it. I love it. Lean in.
I'm really hoping they do that with Star Wars, especially with like Takai coming in to direct.
It could be so cool,
and especially with the writer who did Russian Doll. That has such a dark comedy to it, which is like my brand of comedy. I love that show, so I'm really interested to see if they lean into their kind of bright, colorful, weird humor that all of them are known for.
Does Taika Waititi introduce Star Wars vampires? Discuss.
Oh my gosh, I would love that so much. I love his show.
It's so good.
Did you guys notice that? So I don't know if you guys were aware, but in the What We Do in the Shadows movie, they run into what is his name? He plays Murray in Flay the Conchords, but the werewolves.
Yes.
We're watch your language. We're werewolves, not swearwolves. So Taika and Jermaine Clement have joked about making a werewolf spin-off movie with those werewolves and calling it Werewolves. And you see in the first two, so it's always been like people ask them now, and they're like, "Well, we were kind of just joking, but maybe in the future." But Dave Filoni in several episodes, like the first 2 episodes, you see him on set with a denim jacket on that says "We're," like WE apostrophe.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm like, that must be like a gift that Taika got him or something. Like it's obviously a reference to.
See, I didn't know that. I just thought Filoni was being badass. So that makes the story. I mean, that makes the story so much better. That's so good. Can you imagine if he cast Dave Filoni in that?
Oh my god,
Dave's a werewolf.
Well, so
he can't be a werewolf. He's already an X-wing pilot.
It's funny that you say that.
He flies into the full moon of the Death Star and turns into a werewolf.
Did you see that Mark Hamill's in the TV show?
Yes, that's what I was just going to say. We just watched, he was just in it last week.
He was so funny.
Yeah, Tab didn't know it was Mark Hamill, and I was like, I knew from the moment he started talking. Like,
It's Mark Hamill.
yeah. I actually haven't seen it. I want to catch up on the show.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's all on Hulu.
Yeah, the movies are fantastic. So if anyone's watching the live chat now, once we're done having breakfast with y'all, go watch What We Do in the Shadows. That movie is so good. It's so good. And it'll give you a taste of hopefully what's to come with Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie. So
Sooner Thrawn gave us, and I know this is not a Marvel / Doctor Strange podcast generally, but apparently there's an update on that the director, there you go, you threw it up on the screen. That's bad news.
Oh no!
I was excited.
Sam Raimi, then is that who did Tobey Maguire's?
Well,
Spider-Man?
Sam Raimi does have a horror background, but
Sam Raimi is the horror master, bro. Dude,
I was being like cheeky.
Okay. No, I want to be clear. Anyone listening doesn't know Sam Raimi's past. I mean,
gallons
Evil
of
Dead,
blood,
bro.
Yeah.
Like, come on. So those are fighting words in my house. You can't dog Evil Dead. But Mike Harris knows exactly what I'm talking about. This is what I threw across the room the other day. This is the Red Harvest horror novel, and it goes along with the Death Troopers novel. This is junk. This is a junk book. That's my official book review. There you go.
I didn't hate it.
You didn't hate it, really?
No.
Okay. So does anyone know the story of this?
I don't think I've read.
Well, if you say you hate it, that means like you have some kind of feeling for it. It brought some emotion to you. The opposite of love is not hate.
This is a fully fleshed out novel, right?
And hate leads to the dark side.
That's true.
I make no bones about it. I am definitely a Sith, I think. I don't know. Everyone says I'm a Jedi, but I feel like I'm a Sith. But this is what happens is this is a story about a Jedi who is in tune to the Force via plants. And it follows the journey of an agricultural specialist and a dark lord who uses plants to murder his Sith apprentices and turns them into plant zombies. So if you've ever played the game Zombies vs. Plants back when we were all probably like 5 or 6 years old, just put a lightsaber in there and then here you go. There's Red Harvest. That's my book review. If you can get it for $5, it's a great pickup. Don't pay full price.
And talking about, go ahead.
Just another book review. We're going to be giving away this today. I'm very excited about this. So nice and shiny and sealed. And anyone that left a Rebels GIF on our tweet on SW Friend Show has entered into this. And I'm going to draw the winner of this a little bit later. So go ahead. Sorry. Didn't mean to derail everyone.
No. I was going to go back to the vampires and Star Wars topic and talk about the fact that Robert Rodriguez is directing an episode of The Mandalorian, who obviously did From Dusk Till Dawn, which is one of the best movies.
And Planet Terror.
And I'm just so excited for him. He did so much good work on the TV show for From Dusk Till Dawn as well, which if you haven't watched that, there's 3 seasons on Netflix. And it's amazing.
Wait, is that related to the movie?
Yes. So it's it's a new retelling of the Gecko Brothers, and it's so good. It's really good.
Ion Cannon asked a really good question in the
Let's get to it. Chat.
Did you see that, Josh?
Let me scroll back.
I'm B level, so I don't have the abilities to post it. And there we go.
I just found it. All right, let's see here.
Spin-off movie.
Ion Cannon.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. You get to pick any background character to get promoted and given a spin-off movie. Who are you going with? Wow, that's a. Now, are we talking Ion Cannon? Be very clear. Are we talking cinematic? Are we talking animated? Anything goes? Are we talking expanded universe? And then,
he said movie, so I feel like he means like a full length cinematic feature.
How do we define background?
Yeah, I'm like background character is that one person that has a cool character design or like a secondary character.
Do you have to have
anything goes? Spirit of the day. I love this. This is a great way to start the day. Thank you.
The answer is Boba Fett.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Got him.
Actually, no. I think he's too much of a focus in the prequels. You can't. And in Clone Wars, he's not like if we were going, if like nothing had happened except for the OT, I think you could say he was like a top tier background character. But I think that I got to rescind that answer. But it was nice to make you roll your eyes anyway, Kyle.
You need at least one eye roll before we get out of
some blood pressure medicine.
Oh, jeez.
I'm getting a name right, and then I will come back with an answer.
I'm gonna say the and I'm sure somebody knows his name and it's gonna like tell me immediately after I say this, but the guy who keeps the Rancor.
Oh,
I want to like know like how did he become a Rancor trainer / in love with that giant slobbery beast?
He actually had like his own separate storyline.
Yes, he did.
The
Tales from Jabba's Palace book.
No, it was one of the more recent ones too.
From a certain point of view.
Yes, yeah. I think.
Why would he be in that book? That was only for New Hope.
It was that. I mean, or it basically talks about him like when he starts taking care of the Rancor, like.
How did he get to that point though? You can't. There's no way you go straight to Rancor. Like, I used to be a moisture farmer and now I keep Rancors. Like, you have
to. It was either in that or the Aftermath stuff.
Something.
For some reason, I thought it was Aftermath, but maybe it's not. But yes, there's a story with him and how he gets found and kind of appointed to take care of the animals in Jabba's palace, and the Rancor being one of them.
Kit Fisto, Ayla Sakura Forbidden Love Story.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hey now.
Now.
Where's that at? Who put that in the?
I have a little teal baby.
Where is this at?
This is Nick's official.
Oh my God! Yes, Nick's.
Now, talking about Forbidden Love Stories, my idea. So I think I mentioned the last.
I knew that might trigger you.
Yes. So a couple. Was it on a podcast or on one of these Breakfast with Bendu? Anyways, I said I wanted a Duchess Satine spinoff.
Okay. Yeah.
So a Duchess Satine spinoff where it talks about Corky secretly being the love child of her and Obi-Wan.
Yes.
And
it's not that big a secret, but
it's not a secret. I mean, the kid looks just
basically
like
canon. And since Bo-Katan's a lesbian, it's obviously not her son. So
hey now.
What?
You don't know that. I'll talk about it a little bit later.
I get a vibe.
It's a vibe. It's a big vibe.
I can feel it. She's putting out vibes.
I'm not disagreeing, but I just like to mess.
I want to go the comedy route. I want a Tanavos Xantor Devo with Meeber Gascon.
Oh my God.
One's the straight man, one's the slapstick funny guy, right? And like a Starsky and Hutch style comedy crimes movie.
Okay, yeah, I love
Creepy
it. I'm
guy with little Meeber. Why not?
Meeber Gascon. I can never remember his name, and I just love it every time it gets brought up. That's good.
Chris, I'm surprised you don't want a Babu Frick spinoff.
No, I'm saving.
I don't know if it holds up for 2 hours, guys. I don't want to be that guy, but
so now that Justin laid out his, I'll let you know mine.
No,
you know what? That's strike 2, you guys.
That's it. Yes.
Can we boot somebody from the video chat?
Yeah, it can be me if you watch it.
I want that Beaumont, baby. Look at that. Ooh.
Should I remove him from the stream? Should I? Guys, I can click the button right now.
Temporarily mute him.
Yeah, here.
Hear me.
Muted.
Oh, yes!
Just kidding.
Amazing.
That's a first, man. Okay.
Amazing.
All right. It's game on, baby. Listen, hang on. So we talked on the Shoot from the Hip episode about a post Return the Jedi animated series. What if it also revolved around a young Beaumont, and we learned about how Beaumont would go to the libraries. Beaumont would go to the library.
Adventures of young Beaumont.
They would show him reading the scrolls. They would show him learning all the ancient Sith languages and text.
There's only one good movie about somebody reading, and it's called The Neverending Story, and I don't want to hear any more about this stupid Beaumont movie.
So you want young Indiana Jones Chronicles with Beaumont in there,
yes,
totally.
or
you want National Treasure with Beaumont in there.
But it's a Luke Skywalker Ben Solo story that is also with Beaumont. Beaumont needs to get thrown in there. What if he crosses paths? Beaumont crosses paths with a Jedi Master Luke Skywalker.
You're 100% right, caffeinated.
He gives him that nod. He gives him that Luke Skywalker nod, and then that's all Beaumont carries with him the rest of his life. That's the piece of confidence he needs to approach this intergalactic space battle with the Sith Eternals. He's
not allowed to have any sort of confidence.
Tell him that. He's wearing the glasses right now, dude.
Oh, I will. You don't deserve confidence.
Well, he's a white man, so there's some built in, I'm sure.
Wow. Yeah. Listen, I want to get him on the show.
You're right. The Princess Bride is a phenomenal movie about somebody reading a book. I'm sorry. I blew that one. There's 2.
What about Spinal Tap, but it's Max Rebo?
Oh my god!
Oh, God.
This is the Cantina Band. I love it.
Oh, you got me. You got me. I like that one.
Actually, a Lore Santeca movie could be super cool too.
You know who we should get for the show is Elijah Wood. I feel like he would be hilarious.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Talking about hobbits,
crazy.
he's the only hobbits with rights.
That's you're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, let's see.
Is Maggie trying to turn this into Lord of the Rings?
Not Samwise?
Samwise Gamgee's okay.
I mean, Sean Astin's okay. He's fine.
All right, thank you. Please, let's not cancel him just yet.
Credit where credit's due.
Billy Boyd's okay too.
All right. Have anyone played and beaten Dark Forces? I have.
I've played it. I haven't beaten it. That was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Long time ago.
Wasn't that like pre-dial-up? I mean, that was like
that movie came out in 1995. Or that movie, that game. I know that because I looked it up the other day when we were with Star Wars Mythos. Was like, what did I get from 1995? And I was like, maybe it's Dark Forces.
That's when the AOL wasn't on CD-ROM yet. That was still on the 3.5-inch floppy disk. So that's
I still have one of those.
No.
Yeah.
No. How did it survive so long? But it's a great game. It's a great game. Did you see that they're remastering Tony Hawk's Pro Skater? And it led me to believe like, ooh, maybe they'll remaster Knights of the Old Republic. And then,
so they've been doing that though. They remastered God of War 3. They're remastering the first two Mafia games for a next gen. They remastered Final Fantasy 7, which was like the highest selling PlayStation game of all time. So yeah, I mean, it totally could happen.
It's smart because it makes those old games way more replayable. Games are so good now that even a game that was fun 15 years ago just looks like kind of garbage.
Yeah, I was in Force Unleashed the other day. I was playing Force Unleashed. I'm like, oh man, this is daunting. Like, how did I play this when I was younger? It's a great game, and the cutscenes are fantastic.
Yeah.
But
it is a great game. Bounty Hunter is harder to play than Force Unleashed, though. That game did not age well. The controls are terrible. Now, here's a relevant question. Not going back in the past. We just got word, officially, unofficially, that there's going to be a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. Do you think that they're going to release it on PlayStation 4, or are they going to wait for the PlayStation 5 with that new graphics mod?
If they release it on PS5, I'm going to lose my mind.
That shit's going to look awesome, dude. Because that
Did you
demo
see how much
footage
it costs?
No,
all of your money, I'm sure.
It's like $600.
But I'm sure everything will get released on for Xbox and PlayStation because they're both releasing the new consoles. I'm sure everything will get released.
It has to
and be backwards compatible for like a while, you know.
They're not going to. I don't know. KOTOR was only on Xbox, so it's hard to say.
Well, right, but they're not going to immediately make the Xbox One and the PlayStation 3
obsolete.
or 4 obsolete the day the new one comes out.
No, they do that. Like that Assassin's Creed Valhalla that's coming out has just been announced. It's going to be released on both.
Yeah.
Okay.
That game looks awesome too.
Yes.
I haven't seen that. I don't play a lot of video games. I have been playing Battlefront 2 recently, though, since the new map update came out. Now, listen, I don't play online, and I know that there's been some questioning in the Star Wars text thread that I have not accepted friend invitations. I haven't been online on PlayStation 4 in years.
I'm still grinding out my Galaxy of Heroes to try and get into Chris's guild.
Oh yeah,
I'm like a quarter of the way there. 250,000.
Yeah, you need that 1.5 mil.
You guys upped it. It was 1 mil.
Yeah, now it's 1.5.
Garbage. Never gonna get there.
Chris is like,
he's trying to keep you out.
You got to move it out.
Right.
If anyone is listening or watching on the live chat, if you play Galaxy of Heroes, my guild is very active. There's a lot of good prizes, a lot of good stuff, but you got to have 1.5 mil galactic power. But if you are playing Galaxy of Heroes, you want to join my guild, just hit me up at Known as Chris, and I'll get you the details. So
what were you at, Kyle?
And if anyone wants to
255,000.
I passed you. Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
I was way down there too.
And if anyone actually wants to play Star Wars Battlefront online, PS4.
There you go.
I'm down for playing.
Yeah, she accepted my friend request on PSN like immediately.
Yeah,
I'm not on the network. I
play online. Excuse me. I play Red Dead Redemption every night with my posse.
I want to play that game.
Nice.
It
looks so
good.
It's really fun.
Good.
What horse do you like the best?
I currently have a white Arabian, but I like my red Arabian significantly more. Both of them have the same level of bonding, but my white Arabian just kind of sucks.
I kind of like the Foxtrotter.
There's a main reason why I don't play on PlayStation Network. It's because I'm god awful at multiplayer streaming battles. I used to play the original Battlefront online, and I just got smoked. Like, I mean, instantly. And I would just get the trash talk from children, and I'm like, yo, man, I don't need this in my life. So I'm not going to pay money to get made fun of by kids. I mean, that just happens for free whenever I go out in public. But like, it's the PlayStation. Hey, look at that grown man or whatever. I
will say I'm not a huge fan of the Battlefront play, like how it plays. I'm not a big fan of the controls for it. But
what I want to play that I can't get access to is that Ewok battle where it's like it's the nighttime and you're an Ewok and you go around and like club people's knees. I want to do that. Like that seems fun as hell, but I can't do it unless I'm on the network. Right? So yeah. So all right, let's answer this question here. If you can put a Star Wars character in any other franchise, who and where? All right, I'm gonna go back to earlier in the live chat where I pitched this idea to Disney Plus. Kathleen Kennedy, if you're listening to me right now, I want that What If series, Qui-Gon and Anakin with the cool Uncle Obi-Wan. I want that series, but I want to put cool Uncle Obi-Wan in probably like, I don't know. I would like to see him in a Fuller House.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He would be the neighbor. Cool Uncle Obi would be the neighbor to Danny Tanner.
Uncle Jesse.
Yeah, that would be the battle. That would be the drama. It's like, who's the cooler uncle Jesse or Uncle Obi? So that's where I'm at. That's what I want.
That's really no contest.
So you're saying he'd be like, Anakin, you were my brother. Cut it out.
Yeah.
No, he's no Dave Coulier. Oh God,
but if he's not Jesse, that's who he is.
He's Jesse's replacement. He's his upgrade.
I think that would be great. Or we would put Kylo Ren in a reality TV show where he would just lose his mind.
Like Big Brother, where he's trapped in the house with 10 other people.
We literally all already saw that on.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. That would be great. But go ahead. I mean, if you guys have a thought on that.
Obi-Wan in The Office. Oh. Just like looking at the camera every time Anakin does something, holding up the sign. It has been 0 days since the last time Anakin did something.
Oh, I love that.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a tough one. Ben Swallow and He-Man, maybe, or let's see what else you could do. Like one of the Night Sisters in maybe Marvel with Doctor Strange or the Father.
That would be
kind of cool. Test your mystical powers. I don't know. I haven't put too many Star Wars characters in other franchises.
I don't like the idea of cross genre or cross IPs because people have always talked about Marvel characters interacting with Disney characters. I don't want to see the Guardians of the Galaxy roll up on Tatooine.
Right.
Like, I don't. I'm sorry. I love them independently, and I want them independently. I do not need lightsabers in Marvel.
The second that happens is when I'm finally like
jumps the shark.
I'm done. I'll just be like, Star Wars? What's that? I've never heard of it before.
You don't want to see like Sheev Palpatine in the West Wing or something like that?
Oh my God.
Like a political drama?
Well, Tyler asked
I already pitched that one.
There you go.
Nobody was on board.
Tyler threw this one in there, so maybe we would get a Sheev political show. I mean, that would be pretty nuts.
Shot in the style
I'm picturing
of the West
Obama
Wing.
as a Jedi now.
There you go. And then she would be in it'd be a whole battle. It'd be a whole thing going on. That would
Have
be
you
nuts.
guys ever seen that Star Wars Tales comic where the Millennium Falcon like crash lands on Earth and then Chewbacca, like Han dies and Chewbacca like escapes and becomes like the legend of Bigfoot, and then Indiana Jones finds the wreckage of the Falcon?
That's hilarious.
Sounds
the thing.
Is that a Steven Spielberg movie?
No, it's a comic.
It sounds familiar.
I don't know what
I've
that
not read it, but it sounds
No, it's
familiar.
a comic. It's real.
Okay.
It's like a non-canon like thing. That
reminds me.
10 out of 10.
I love
would
it.
not read. Would not.
I love it.
I have comics that are Doctor Who meets Star Trek. So it must be.
I can see that.
That stuff's wide open in the comic book world. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just did a TMNT and Batman movie.
I'm down for that.
Wait, what?
It actually worked pretty well. Yeah.
So TMNT has crossed in their current run with IDW, which is incredible. They've done crossover comics with Ghostbusters, Power Rangers, and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The Ghostbusters one is amazing.
Weird.
It is. And the Ghostbusters one's actually part of the actual timeline. I don't think the Batman or the Power Rangers ones, they're just like separate things. But Ghostbusters is actually part of the story.
But they're fun and they seem to work well.
Yeah.
We have seen Goat we've seen goat humanoid characters in Star Wars, most recently in the Spice Girls arc. Would we ever see a Ninja Turtle in Star Wars? We ever see a turtle humanoid in Star Wars?
Oh God.
No.
I don't see why. I mean, I don't know that we'll see the Ninja Turtles, but having a turtle type, a turtle type alien,
skeleton or something.
100%. Yeah,
Oh
I think so.
I mean,
we have Klatooinians, which are dogs, basically. Like,
I mean, where do you get the best space pizza?
Dex's Diner.
There you go.
Space New York, obviously.
Space Chicago.
That's not pizza, it's lasagna. Give me a break.
Hey, everyone in the chat, all of our Star Wars friends in the chat.
With crust.
How do you feel about Chicago pizza? And I know we got some Chicagoans in our chat right now. Chicago style deep dish pizza. Is it pizza or is it lasagna with crust? Let's hear it. So sound off in the chat.
You're right. If we've got a Rick is that his name? Rick Tamlin? There's shark people. Riff Tamsin. There's shark people. There can be turtle people.
People.
I have theories, Sooner Thrawn. I have many theories.
Oh yeah, so let's get to this question here. So Sooner Thrawn, will all the new characters in Mando be in one episode to then have a spin-off show? Will they be 3 or more, maybe 3 or more episodes? Is what was there? Go ahead, Maggie. Yeah, take it home.
Yes. So I wrote a big article this week talking about why it makes sense to have these characters that are rumored to be in The Mandalorian, like why it makes sense, because these characters already carry lore and like a backstory that we are familiar with. So they really had 2 options: either create brand new characters that we aren't attached to like carry the story, or bring these characters in that we already know and love and like can have the expose that we need. So I feel like it might set them up to have their own series. But at the same time, I feel like they might just end up being reoccurring characters that we'll see again in The Mandalorian.
Well, so one of Bob Iger's parting shots before he left and then came back was that he said that there was going to be a spinoff from The Mandalorian. I mean, he literally said that in one of their earnings calls. And I thought it immediately was going to be Cara Dune. I thought that would be the show. But now that they're starting to talk about literally adding everyone from Zero the Hutt's corpse to, all these, whatever. I mean, insert.
The Oliphant was the one yesterday.
Yeah, Michael Jordan's rumored to be in The Mandalorian.
Let's get some Space Jam.
Liam Neeson's going to play a different character in season 2 of Mandalorian. Everyone's coming back. This is a whole family reunion.
I've got a thought on these things. Like, I'm sure probably a couple of those reports will end up being true, but I wish none of them existed, because inevitably some of them are not going to be true. There's no way they're going to cram 7, 8, 9, 10 legacy characters into this season 2 of it's just not going to happen. And so it seems to me like a lot of people are just kind of rolling the dice on what they think are the safest bets. So some of it is going to turn out to be just complete bull crap, and the rest of it, where people did nail something, which I think is still probably mostly just probably by chance, then it's a spoiler. So I'm not into it. I'm not down with it at all. If we're going to see a new character, I want to see him on screen. I want the reveal to be as intended.
Right.
And I don't like the garbage, like, quote, journalism.
So
I'm not into it.
Couple thoughts. Number one, Kyle, on the Shoot From Hip episode that we just dropped, I said that I wanted Boba Fett to be a surprise purely so I can text you the moment he shows up on screen, so I can say, haha, he's there. But no, for real though, I agree. I think that it is garbage journalism. I think that it should have been kept secret, or on the conspiracy theory side, it's like maybe they leaked some of this stuff out so that you can, during the global pandemic, give Star Wars fans maybe something to talk about and speculate on. But I will say this: if Bo-Katan, Katie Sackhoff comes true, you heard it here first on the Star Wars Friends podcast. I don't know how many months ago, when we picked up on that tweet that Katie Sackhoff put out, and I immediately went on the show and I was like, "Yo, dude, she's going to be in Mandalorian season 2." That was like during the season 1, like it was like episode 5 or 6 when she tweeted that thing out. So it goes back a while. But anyways, I agree, Kyle. To me, the surprise and delight is what really makes something a fantastic experience. And to then sit here thinking or waiting, anticipating that you're going to see a live action Sabine, you're going to see a live action Ahsoka. It's like that actually takes away from, in my opinion, yes, you might immediately be watching the picture in front of you, but in the back of your mind, you're like, wait a second, Ahsoka didn't show up.
You're thinking about this thing. You're not like taking in what you're supposed to be consuming, like you're not enjoying it the way it's intended. And imagine if for that whole year leading up to the Mandalorian, the first episode, you knew what was going to be in the cradle at the end. What if you knew about Baby Yoda? That would have taken away that. I would not have wanted to lose that experience of that reveal.
But I also think it is proof, at least in some part of the rumors, if they're leaking out, that there's definitely an intention behind them, since they kept this little guy a secret for how many months?
Right.
Well, but even then, this did leak.
I did say that during Star Wars Celebration Chicago, I did have a number of people tell me that the Mandalorian would revolve around a baby of some kind. I did not know it was going to be a Yoda baby.
That's a totally different kind of rumor.
There was a rumor last summer that Yoda's species would come back into play in The Mandalorian, which made a lot of people think that Yoda was going to be in it.
Interesting.
So there's definitely things that drop out, and I've been somebody that has been given spoilers by production before in a different fandom. And so there's definitely people who intend for things to leak out through different channels. So it's interesting to watch who's right and who is always wrong.
And it's good to see one of those leakers get their due recently. I'm not going to say anything further than that, other than we don't support that type of behavior, and I'm glad to see it. Anyways, guys, we've been falling back on these comments here. Let's roll through some of these comments, because I'm going through here and I'm like, oh my god, we missed all this stuff. So we're talking about those those films, Republic Commando film adaptation. That would be interesting. We talked about that. Maybe with the Bad Batch, would be interesting to see them come back into play at some point in time. That would be interesting. Let's see, X-Wing animated series. Yes. I would love to see an X-Wing animated series. Now, did you all think that Resistance was going to have more of a focus on the flying aspect of the show? Because it really only came to play for 4 episodes in the second season. I thought it was going to be a pilot driven, animated show. It really didn't have much flying. Been
more drama around the actual racing, because that was the whole premise of it, was that they're racers on this station out in the middle of nowhere, right? And they do this, for money and for accolades and whatever,
right?
And it really didn't center on the racing at all. It became the fighters defended, and I can't remember the name of the ship now.
The Colossus.
The Colossus. Thank you.
Yeah,
they defended the Colossus because they had no fighters in the end, and they barely had guns on their racers that they had. So it didn't center around what I thought it was going to center around.
Yeah.
But like I said, late in the first season, start of the second season, it got really interesting.
Pretty good.
And then middle of the second season, it kind of lulled again. And then by the end of the second season, the ending just kind of left me like, okay, that's how it ended. I was like, that was just weird. So
it is weird.
I expected more from it, even though it was kind of a kid's show and it was only 2 seasons. But I thought it would have centered around the racing a lot more.
Are you and I the only 2 that have watched Resistance all the way through? Has anyone else, Star Wars friends, watched it? You watch it, Maggie? Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
Okay.
Maggie?
I liked it. I didn't like it as much as I liked Clone Wars or Rebels, but it was fun.
Anything else?
Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed seeing Poe Dameron in a medium.
Poe was fun.
Poe was fun.
Yeah.
Poe was fun. I liked
Torredoza is. I like Torredoza, but I'm a Torredoza
I like
stan.
Niku. Niku was great for me. I enjoy Niku. The two dudes in the shop.
Oh, they're funny.
Hilarious.
They're funny.
They were funny.
Yeah. One was played by Josh Gad.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But those 2 dudes were funny. But I would have just the racers themselves. There should have been a lot more character development, I think, with the individual racers.
We
really got
for sure
any of it. And they were cool characters. The one was a former TIE fighter pilot.
Yeah, he was tight. He was tight.
I can't remember his name. He has a specific name, but he's got the skull painted on the front of his TIE helmet. He's got
sleeveless.
He still has the armor, but he's got the sleeveless jumpsuit. He was a cool character, and I'm like, why didn't we get more of that? So
I thought Hype Faison was the worst character on the show, though, and I have tried to get the voice actor who portrays Niku on our show. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get him on because he did that one voice in Clone Wars. Can't think of his, but I've made a couple requests out to his agent. We'll try to get him on. How it's made, the Death Star would be friggin' hilarious. A History Channel style documentary on how the Death Star was made. Have any of you ever seen like the math behind what it takes to build the Death Star and like the actual real world cost? And
hundreds of thousands of Geonosians.
that would be pretty funny. We have this from our friends at Fulcrum Dawn. Maybe we can finally get that Constable Zuvio film.
Oh my god!
Quote, finally.
Are you secretly Heath?
That would be something to see. Here's a great one from Star Wars Mythos: the Greedo and High Heels spinoff. There's a whole story behind that. That's pretty great. Let's see here. Beaumont, the space academic spinoff, a community style show.
Oh my god!
Oh, love Community.
Let's bring Donald Glover back.
Who's excited for the Community read through that's on Monday?
I didn't know about that. Okay.
Yeah, so they're doing a table read of an episode on Monday. And Pedro Pascal is playing one of the characters because the actual actor can't be in it.
Oh my goodness.
Who's the actual actor that won't be there?
It was somebody who played one of the lawyers in one of the episodes. Yeah, it's just random.
I need Alison Brie to be there as long as she's there.
She is
okay with me.
Okay. Yeah, so tune in.
Radio Rebellion, Lorsan Tekka looking for relics.
Oh.
Let's see here. Yep, where are we going? Another one. Let's see. Lorsan Luke. There's a lot of great comments in here. I'm rolling through all this. A lot of PS5 talk. Sorry, everyone in the chat. I got distracted and haven't really looked at the chats. This is great. Reading through all these. Dooku as a villain in a James Bond movie.
Ooh, it already happened.
Yes.
It actually did already happen.
Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee is actually one of the most accomplished villains in cinema. He's been an evil wizard in Lord of the Rings. He's been a Bond villain. He's been a Sith Lord. He was Dracula. Literally.
Yeah. He was such a good Dracula.
Yes.
It's wild. I don't know if there's anyone who has a better villain resume than him.
Very few. Mike, check it out. You were late to the chat, bro. I'm just showing my solidarity with all my fellow Rise of Skywalker fans. So as I mentioned on the Shoot from the Hip episode, and you picked up on this, we are asking anyone and everyone to send in your thoughts, your comments, your voice memos about why you love Rise of Skywalker. We have built this odd reputation somehow of podcasts that doesn't necessarily like Rise of Skywalker.
Is it all because of me?
I don't know how that's happened, but it's happened.
I know how it happened. We didn't like it very much.
But it doesn't
I'm not
mean
be a shill.
Right. I'm not. Yeah, we are not a shill podcast. So we are very honest. But we do want to hear opinions from people who do love it because we celebrate all opinions on here. We've talked about this, and there are a lot of things that we love about Rise of Skywalker. Babu Frick is probably my favorite thing about the Rise of Skywalker, other than those Chewbacca moments. There's a lot of really great stuff in the movie, but I think that
Ryan.
the disconnectedness of the sequel trilogy is something that we're going to talk about. But we are doing this. We are doing the Rise of Skywalker recap show very soon. Please send us in, show at Star Wars Friends, your voice memos, your thoughts. We are going to have some of our friends that defend the movie on. Well, I said that on the other day. You don't need to defend it. Just tell us why you like it. We want to hear your opinion because.
Do I have to watch it again?
Yes.
No.
Yes. That's a prereq to doing this.
I've seen it twice, and it was 2 times too many.
Oh God, I've seen it twice, which was at least once too many.
My second time, I was drunk, so it doesn't count as much.
Hey, that's not true. What Maggie just said. That's not a defense.
All right, let's see here. Let's keep rolling through these comments here so we can catch up. So much going on here.
Palpatine movie.
You guys are awesome, man.
I have this app that gives me like weird daily advice, and today it sounds like something Padme would say. It says there is no such thing as peaceful insurrection.
That is that's actually a Sabe quote. Yeah. Thank you very much.
That's true.
Yeah, let's save it for the E.K. Johnson Sabe novels. That's exactly where that's from.
Did you guys see that that Vader is like trying to, in the comics?
It's so good.
Trying to find to find out about Padme.
Yes.
And he runs into Sabe and he's like,
Dude,
he's like doesn't know what to do.
That moment was insane.
Yes, I have goosebumps right now. I haven't talked about it on the show. I've talked about how awesome that Vader comic is, but that storyline in particular was badass. I did not see that coming. That was crazy. Boba Fett in Mortal Kombat universe. I would like to see that. I don't play Mortal Kombat, but I'm sure it would be a lot of fun. And
easy to beat him. It'd
be hilarious.
Right, you just hit him in the jetpack and
poke him in the jetpack, and he flies into a wall and.
Mike Harris is saying no crossover, so no MCU Star Wars crossover. I'm assuming
he's out.
Sorry, guys. We are literally 13 to 14 minutes behind on these comments. I want to make sure we get caught up for everybody. C-3PO and I Am Robot. That is hilarious. I like that. Let's see here. After the shark guy, turtle guy seems possible. I love that. There are
Jackson.
Radio Rebellion is so right. Damn it. There are turtles in Resistance. I totally.
Oh, yes, there are. I forgot it. The dude down in the bottom of the ship. I forgot about that.
Oh, the people who like maintain it, the maintenance people slow. Down there.
Yeah. They move really slow.
Kudos, Radio Rebellion. Kudos. Great call.
Yes.
That's where they took the 2 kids that were being hunted by the spoiler alert people. Yeah.
The force sensitive folks.
Spoiler alert for season 1.
Right. Which again, there should have been more with those 2 kids as far as the story, and it just went nowhere.
Came and left.
I was like, I don't understand. I mean, in fairness, maybe they were focusing more on Clone Wars. Possibly. Maybe they were focusing more on Mandalorian. I don't know. But it seemed like Resistance should have gotten more than what it did.
Yes, I agree.
Would have had credibility had they married those 2 storylines to Rise of Skywalker like they originally pitched the show that was going to take place between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. It would have made so much sense to marry those stories to give credibility and to actually have a thoughtful storyline that would link up with the film. I'm just really frustrated about it still.
Soonerthron, you're breaking my heart here.
I don't care about Resistance that much. What's Detroit pizza?
Detroit pizza is a brick style pizza. It's very thick. It's not like a deep dish style pizza. It is more bread. So you get the Chicago deep dish, which is like
a Sicilian.
It's almost like a Sicilian. Yeah. And then I actually just had a really good Detroit pizza with pulled pork on it the other day. If anyone wants to follow me,
I'm sure Twitter, that sounds very traditional. Yeah.
I love food, and my other podcast, No One Is Listening, we talk a lot about food, especially pizza.
There is some Last Jedi slander in the comments. I'm just gonna.
Lou Malnati's. Tyler Page. Somebody's representing the Chicago pizza. I don't mind it. It's not my personal favorite. I'm probably going New York if I'm actually picking my favorite pizza. But
you need like a splash guard when you eat Illuminati's.
It's a fork and knife
all over you, and
if I'm gonna have a thick pizza, then I'd rather have more topping and all the extra stuff than dough. Like I don't want all the dough. So the Detroit pizza's out. I'm sorry.
Ooh, wow, shots fired at
Columbus. So who really cares? I mean,
what do you know about pizza, Columbus?
Yeah.
Actually,
you're right. Columbus has some of the best pizza I've ever had in my life. I've traveled the world for pizza, no joke. And Columbus, Adriatico's in Columbus.
There's a huge, and not to go on a tangent here, there's a huge pizza history in Columbus because back when a lot of the smaller towns and stuff between the major cities, Columbus was actually between like the Chicago and the New York, and it's where you could get, it was a hub of different styles of pizza, and they were very, very good. And I'm talking back like 30s, 40s, 50s when all these pizza companies got started. So Columbus is no joke.
Columbus is no joke. I love Columbus pizza. Damn. Now here we go. Buffalo has the best pizza. I will say that Buffalo. Hang on,
Lauren.
There is a place in Buffalo called Duff's. And it's also famous for their buffalo wings. But Duff's and Anchor Bar in Buffalo have a competition on who created the first one. Anchor Bar created the first one.
Yeah. I've been to the Anchor Bar and Grill and had the wings there.
Yeah, it's fantastic wings.
Good.
Duff's
hot wings.
Duff's is right down the road from Anchor Bar, and Duff's has great pizza. I don't know if it's the best. It's probably like 3 or 4 tiers down from Columbus pizza, but it's pretty good. Chicago pizza isn't worth Rebel Art Empire's time. It takes a lot of time to eat it.
Ryan with the Hawaiian pizza, that's a controversial,
No, it's not.
People love it or hate it.
Hawaiian's really great.
I love Hawaiian.
I'm down with it too, but I'm telling you, there's people who feel very strongly.
No, there is.
Makes sense. Okay, yeah, I love it.
So I don't know, like you guys will probably roll your eyes at this, and I understand why, but it's that. Do you guys know what the top? So something else to be said about like Michigan pizza in general too, is the top 3 international pizza chains are Pizza Hut, Domino's, and Little Caesars, and 2 out of 3 of those were founded in Michigan.
$5 holla.
That's like quantity, not quality necessarily, though. I mean,
hey, you get you get an actual fresh, hot and ready. It's great.
if it's actually hot and ready, and not just ready, you're saying
if you get a Little Caesars pizza from Little Caesars Arena.
Little Caesars back in the day when they were doing the double squares, that was actually the what is happening on the Star Wars Friends?
I was going to say, welcome to Breakfast with Bendu, where
we've moved into lunch.
Cold pizza breakfast. This would not be my first.
Moved into lunch with Lore Santeca.
You know what?
Josh is going.
Whoa, man down.
He accidentally kicked himself
Chris,
out.
what'd you do?
He was going to start talking about Little Caesars again.
Oh, God. Whatever. I'll eat a crazy bread if I've had a couple cocktails.
There he is.
There he is.
Oh, I thought you got frustrated about Little Caesars, dude.
I'm sorry. It's fine. It's a chain. It's not that bad, I guess.
Did the internet just die?
Yeah, you were gone for like a
you were
second.
gone.
Yeah.
You were literally like, you know what, brother? You had that moment where you're about
We're about to go Hulk on us.
That was great.
Yeah, I can't hear. Like everything is all messed up on my end here. I might have to drop out.
Quarantine Zoomcast era. I don't know. Like, yeah.
Anybody else see that? I finally understand. It was something about the Zoom meetings, but it was like the intro to the Muppet Show where they're all in the little windows. Anybody else see that tweet?
Oh,
hilarious.
No,
it's also like the Brady Bunch.
Like a weird.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, what is happening here?
All right, I think
I like thin crust pizza. Just
thin crust
pizza.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been making homemade pizza during quarantine, and it's so good.
I do like a thin, like crispy crust.
Yes. We have a place down in Fredericksburg, Virginia called Benny's. If anyone's ever in the area, their pizza slices are like this big.
Oh, yeah.
And when you buy the whole pizza, I think it's like 4 feet by 4 feet. Huge. It's huge pizza.
Not even oven that big. That's a hefty pie. I like that.
They're so
Get a big brick oven.
Benny's.
I'm with you. I had the wings at Anchor Bar. I thought they were fine. We went there because it was like a thing to do. They're not the best wings I've ever had.
I want to know where the best wings are then. Because
the best wings I've ever had are actually at like a local sports bar by my house. They get they're fresh and they're like, I don't know, they're just good. They're not the like old little shrivel. B-dubs, your wings suck. I'm sorry. Your sauces are good. Your wings suck. I'm sorry. They're $1 a piece and they're like a half a bite of food.
I tell my wife that all the time. I am not a B-dubs fan.
All right,
Frickers is better than B-dubs.
Wow. Let's dive into some Star Wars here. Let's
nobody else with food? Anyone?
I can talk food all day. Oh, yeah. I can talk food all day.
Also,
right, Star Wars mythos. I have a thought about Mando too. I think it may turn into a show where there are 3 separate arcs for different characters. Might be split into thirds. 1/3 Din, 1/3 Bo, and 1/3 Boba. I think that Boba Fett, if he were to appear in The Mandalorian, would turn out to be some type of mentor to Din Djarin, not necessarily an active participant in combat, but maybe just show some techniques that the Mandalorians haven't taught him, that Boba Fett learned from Bossk and Aurra Sing and some of those other, where he grew up with these rogue bounty hunters.
The older people he rolled with during the Clone Wars time.
Yeah, and he would show Mandalorian a different side. He would show Din Djarin a different side of what it was like to wear the armor. And I think we're going to learn a lot about Din Djarin's experience with Mandalorians that take their helmets off. We've been talking in the group text thread about how he would react to see Bo-Katan take her helmet off or Sabine Wren take her helmet off. I mean, he's grown up with the creed that he can't take his helmet off. He would no longer be a Mandalorian if he showed his face to Omera. So it's interesting. I think that's where it's going to go, is that struggle of, should I take my helmet off? And then we'll eventually get that payoff.
Yeah.
Well, and on one hand, like from a practical standpoint, that would make sense, because then we get the famous handsome actor can take his helmet off all the time, which would be like a plus for, I'm sure, a lot of people. But on the other hand, is if this is like the Mandalorian way now, why would Bo-Katan and Sabine and whoever is still around, would they not have adopted this new way? I mean,
but it's just different clans react differently, I think.
Yeah, what if we find out that he's just happens to be in like this really extreme sect of Mandalorians, and it's not like everybody does it. It's just like this one tribe.
Yeah.
They all got scattered, and they kind of have their own way of dealing with this new world. We
already saw that with the different like groups in Clone Wars.
Right.
And how they all had their own creeds.
Death Watch was pretty hardcore.
Yeah, Death Watch was really hardcore.
I think
they're a terrorist organization.
Essentially, the Mandalorians are splintered the same way that the Empire is splintered right now.
Well, then I wonder if there would be a group of Mandalorians who don't wear their armar at all, as a way to hide their identity.
Wait,
because we have.
I mean, that happened.
Yeah.
Man,
where do you get the best Mandalorian pizza?
Hunker Don, obviously.
I mean, that's what I want.
Let me check Boba Fett's notes.
Thank you.
Well, he spent a lot of time in prison, so I bet they don't have very good pizza there. I wouldn't really know.
So the interesting thing that Mythos said that Boba would fulfill the villain role. I thought that originally before the Mandalorian started. I predicted that Boba Fett would be a villain of some sorts or a mini boss, if you will. I did not predict that Grand Moff Gideon would have a friggin' Darksaber. That's crazy. But I'm gonna be it's gonna be interesting to see how this Darksaber comes into play, because you have all these characters from animated series who have some history with the Darksaber. They're still alive in universe. How can you imagine the Mandalorian getting Din Djarin getting the Darksaber somehow, but he needs the help of all of these other, cast of characters to come after Moff Gideon. And I'm just thinking of it now. I mean, he would enlist the help of Bo, Sabine, Boba Fett. And you laugh about Boba Fett, laugh about it. But I really think that if Tamora Morrison comes back and lends some credibility to that role, I think here's my bold prediction. And I'll say it right now. I think that everyone's going to have a different opinion of Boba Fett after Mandalorian season 2, if this comes true. To have this character brought back by an aged Tamora Morrison and to have a monologue about how he escaped the Sarlacc, how he was rebuilding himself, but maybe he was in hide. I don't know. Like he's going to have some deep thoughts, and he's going to pass along the Mandalorian, pass along his wisdom.
Tyler Page over here trying to kill off Mando.
Oh. Well, I mean,
once and for all.
We don't have to kill off main characters. Listen to Dave Filoni. We have to give the children hope.
Well, that's
like cross paths, just trying to pursue the same bounty.
So I feel like
Fett's still a bounty hunter, though.
I mean,
but here's the thing:
living right
is
before he fell in
still
the pit.
a bounty hunter.
That's how he makes his living after the pit.
I just thought about that. If Lauren Romo's still in the chat, she is probably the best reference for what I'm about to say. In the aftermath novels, that armor, Boba Fett's armor, gets picked up by a scavenger who turns into a sheriff on Tatooine, and Cobb Vanth, and Boba Fett no longer has his armor. So maybe that comes into play somehow, where he can't be the Boba Fett old because he doesn't have his armor, and now he's just some like old hermit that people are like, oh, the legend of Boba Fett or whatever. And
and here's the thing with the Darksaber, that's the way that they could all intersect, is if Mando is going after Gideon, and Gideon has the Darksaber, and people are going after Gideon because he has the Darksaber. That's could be a really interesting way for them to kind of all encounter each other, and not, especially if they're not presenting like Mandalorians. Din would be like, who are these people that have their helmets off, and they're like, oh, we're Mandalorians, and then it would be like, what?
We're all assuming that they're going after the Darksaber. They don't know he has it. We know he has it because he put himself out of the ship.
Well, he had to get it from them.
They know somebody has the Darksaber.
They know somebody has it, but like Din Djarin doesn't know he has it.
No, he doesn't know. So he would be the one just going after
Gideon for Gideon because he mowed him down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they would be going after Gideon for the Darksaber. So it's like they're
Or
going after the same person for two different reasons.
Din Djarin might not even be going after Gideon. Gideon's going after him because
True.
they're trying to get to the child.
And that's if they know he has it. It could have just been picked up somewhere, sold on the black market.
Well, I don't think Bo-Katan would have just put the Darksaber down and lost track of it.
If she lost it,
what if this remnant?
If she lost
Empire,
it, she would have kept track of where it went, though.
What if the Remnant Empire has imprisoned Bo-Katan and some of these other Mandalorians? It has created that separate sect of Mandalorians. So the Remnant Empire has been imprisoning them for a long time, and then eventually Bo-Katan gets broken out somehow and reignites a tribal unity amongst the Mandalorians. I think that might be interesting. But I
always imagine the Empire being more executing their enemies than keeping them imprisoned. But
maybe, I don't know.
It could be.
Maybe they're just forgotten about. Maybe they're imprisoned and just forgotten.
I feel like we see more people get imprisoned than executed.
There are a lot of people in prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
In that universe.
Who gets held like in prison for an extended period of time?
Everyone in Star Wars. You ever see those prison blocks? Mike Harris,
not a main character.
Totino.
So
pizza rolls.
And then
Ezra's parents didn't die. Ezra's parents were taken when he was little, and they didn't get executed until they did a prison riot after they heard his message.
This is true.
They got executed.
Yeah. But after they had been there for several years.
Drew makes a fair point here. Isn't the focus all of them the child? Interesting. Will we see the child wield the Darksaber while wearing Mandalorian armor?
I would love that.
Just visualize it. Just right now. Let's
too big.
Let's take a moment of silence and visualize a young child wearing Mandalorian armor with the ears sticking out of the helmet, wielding the Darksaber.
No.
And then falling over because the helmet's too heavy.
I can see him trying to put it on and it falls over him and he's trapped in it. Or he crawls in it like it's upside down and he's sitting in it teetering.
We're off YouTube now.
Oh my gosh.
Are we off YouTube?
Yeah, we just dropped out.
How?
Well, I think we probably went over time.
No, 2 hours is the time.
Oh, 2 hours? Yeah, I don't know then.
And it doesn't actually drop us from YouTube. When that happens, it just doesn't save it.
It says the video is unavailable.
Kyle, you broke it.
I didn't do anything to it.
I
was just the one watching it.
What is happening? This is so unfair.
It's wild because we've been on for so long at this point.
And not to toot my own horn, but I interviewed Emily Swallow yesterday, who plays the Armorer.
Yes.
Yes. So look for that interview to come up soon.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. She was so nice.
Oh, we just got dropped. So yeah.
Well,
they love us. They love us at the YouTube.
YouTube really does not like us at all.
We're still on Facebook, but there's only 2 people on there. 3.
We love those 2 people though. Hi.
Well, one of them's probably me since I'm watching it.
This is crazy, man.
Yeah, that stinks.
Well, Josh, you can still save the video from StreamYard and eventually get it back up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if we don't break it, if we don't come out and come back in like we did before.
Yeah.
And I can remove this YouTube video, keep our current live stream, and then add it back to YouTube from inside of the broadcast studio here. Is that what you want me to do?
As long as we don't lose the video, so we can repost it, so it doesn't show up in 3 separate blocks like it has. Crazy.
Well, it will initially, and then we can re-upload it.
If anyone's watching us on Facebook, this is the behind the scenes channel. This is the exclusive Patreon content.
Up to 4 now. So
hey.
I did give the disclaimer on Twitter that if we get dropped from YouTube, we switch over to Facebook. YouTube, you suck. YouTube sucks.
Really
can I be like I feel like I'm always playing this role, and I don't mean to be like the negative person, but isn't it all like a little bit on the nose that Bo-Katan is chasing down the Darksaber and we're going to give it to her again? Like that already happened.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like they're just going to rehash that storyline that we already played out. If it's that obvious that Katie Sackhoff, that's Bo-Katan, then we're chasing down the Darksaber that we already saw, and we're going to give it to her, and we're going to it's too obvious. I don't think that's actually what's going to happen.
No.
It's a little too on the nose for me. I could be wrong. We'll see, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's a good kind of fan service. If we talk fan service. Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
I don't believe it to be fan service to bring characters that are relevant to a storyline into a storyline.
I agree with you.
I think it's fan service to create new characters that are irrelevant but are cool just for the sake of creating new characters. I'm much more of the mind that if you have characters that are already relevant and already known, use them and bring them to life, especially since they've been in animation. Bring them to life as real people for us to enjoy.
So you are open to Bo-Katan chasing Darksaber?
Yeah, I think it's relevant. I think it's a non on the nose way to bring information about the Darksaber into the Mandalorian universe, especially since there's people who are watching it who aren't familiar with Clone Wars and aren't familiar with Rebels. And that's a way to bring those characters into the mainstream, and also, using characters that the people who do know, are familiar with. And instead of reinventing the wheel, it just it makes sense narratively.
Yeah. I don't need a fresh Bo-Katan storyline. I don't need a reinvention. You're right. So everyone, sorry about the YouTube drop. I don't know what we did to make YouTube mad at us again. We thought that the week break would have cooled the jets a little bit on YouTube's end. So thanks for rejoining us. Not really sure what's going on there, but we will post the full video on our YouTube channel after our show today. So yeah, Tyler, the YouTube gods are pissed. We're talking too much truth on the Star Wars friends.
Yes.
You know what it was is we broke they were like, okay, this is a Star Wars podcast, that's fine. And then we talked about pizza for an hour and they were like, wait a minute, this is false advertising.
Yeah, no, for real. So thank you to everyone that's jumped over to Facebook. That seems to be the way more reliable way to watch these live chats.
Facebook doesn't think we're fake news.
Right. Seriously, I would love an explanation from these Autobots on YouTube that are shutting us down.
Out.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing that's really the most frustrating, is that the takedown is like an automated thing and there's no actual explanation of this is what you said that we took you down for. It just says here are all the things that we take people down for. We think you did one of these 20 things, and it's well, but which one though? And it's all really heinous stuff that we're not even anywhere near.
I did drop the F word once on the show. An hour and 10 minutes
on
ago.
YouTube.
Yeah, there's plenty of swearing on YouTube.
Okay.
It's not Sunday school.
Did anybody read this? I just got this from Screen Rant.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Star Wars writer promises to help get Danny Trejo in The Mandalorian. Rogue One writer Gary Whittas.
I love Gary Whitta.
I love Gary.
Talking web series. Apparently, he must have interviewed Danny Trejo, or he had him on the show, and he wants to be in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, they had him on his Animal Talk show. It was him, Greg Grunberg, and Elijah Wood.
I'm surprised no one said Snap Wexley full length film.
And I love me some Danny Trejo. I do. I enjoy Danny Trejo.
I do too, but
I just
okay. Could you picture Danny? Can you picture Danny Trejo on Mandalorian?
No.
Unfortunately, yes.
He would be perfect. He would be so perfect.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would.
Would he be wearing a Danny's Donut shirt on The Mandalorian, promoting all his side businesses and all that stuff? I don't know, man.
Why would he? Why not?
Why would he not wear a donut shirt?
No, I mean, why couldn't he do it? He could play a grizzled some kind of bounty hunter-y,
I'm picturing him at the cantina. He would be so awesome as a cantina personality.
He's totally an underworld bounty hunter type looking character. He could.
What if he gets a sweet cybernetic eye patch or implant or something? I can picture that right now. Yeah. That would look tight.
Yeah, I think him over the top is another character. If it's just Danny Trejo is Danny Trejo,
that's my biggest complaint is those super recognizable actors can sometimes take you out of it a little bit.
Wasn't Carl Weathers one of those kind of characters? Everybody knows he's Carl Weathers.
Yeah, I agree. And I will say that Lando in the Solo movie was Lando. So I mean, it can be done. But
no, that was Childish Gambino.
I love Childish Gambino.
Me too.
So here's the thing. I'll be the first to admit that I was I'm a huge Bill Burr fan. And I was super nervous. I was like, oh my God, Bill Burr in The Mandalorian. Are you kidding me? Like, this is going to be so dumb. And I love Bill Burr. Turns out Bill Burr was pretty damn awesome in The Mandalorian. So
are we back on YouTube?
Yeah, we're back on YouTube.
Yeah, I put us back.
Oh, okay.
So I will say that I'll trust whoever John and Dave cast. I did not like the casting of what's her face from Strangers with Candy. I can't think of her name right now.
Oh.
She played the mechanic on Tatooine.
I actually thought she did a great job.
And I'll disagree hard on that.
But it wasn't because you were like, oh, that's the lady from Strangers with Candy. It's
exactly. No, it was not because of that. I just did not like the way that she portrayed that character.
I did not like the Twi'lek that I can't remember the actress. Yeah, the actress's name.
Yes.
She's Harry Potter.
I loved her.
I did not like that character at all.
Yeah, she was terrible.
I thought she was awesome.
It was too on the nose.
Oh my God. All right.
I don't know who tweeted it the other day. Somebody tweeted that they, with all the names that they've been dropping for Mandalorian 2 and possible characters that they're playing, they were not happy with the Mandalorian tying in characters from other story arcs or other movies or things like that, when the first season of The Mandalorian did a really good job of setting the tone on its own and creating new characters in an expansive Star Wars universe that we could go a ton of different places with. So bringing all these characters in and just tying them into another story that we already know, they were not happy with. I get a little bit of that, which is why I say, like, if you introduce a Boba Fett or an Ahsoka or something and you tie him in for an episode or two, I'm good with that. If it all of a sudden becomes part of another, intertwinement with Rebels, Clone Wars, or something like that, then I go, okay, now you've taken away from what the Mandalorian originally, I think, was. Right. And it's in and of itself. That episode that you just mentioned, Chris, with Bill Burr was great. You brought in a whole bunch of characters that we knew nothing about.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That
were cool characters, even if you didn't like them. There were a bunch of cool characters that we were like, ooh, that was pretty cool. New people. Let's go with that. Let's get more with that.
I love that episode.
So I'm okay with it.
I love that episode.
Yeah, I'm okay with it if it's like a guest, like Fennec Shand could have been a really cool. I mean, she
still will be when Boba Fett revives her. Okay.
But that's another character that, hey, we don't know anything about this character. That would have been really cool to get a whole Fennec Shand story or background or something like that.
I think we will.
That doesn't relate to some of these other characters.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Okay, so you're saying like maybe even just a separate episode within the Mandalorian itself.
Maybe, yeah. Like she could have worked for Jabba, but nobody's going to sit there and go, oh, well, Jabba's a main character from, the Star Wars movies and whatever else. But when you're bringing in a live action Ahsoka or a live action Bo or a live action, and you're saying, okay, now we've intertwined this with Rebels or we've intertwined this with Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Then it takes away a little to me and to whatever this person tweeted, but it takes away a little bit from the show itself and what it was supposed to be. You brought in a baby Yoda. Well, yes, that is Yoda's species, but he was by himself. Like, where did he come from? Who are his parents? What is his species? Like, I'm not real concerned about Yoda. I'm more concerned about the child, and I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that, but at the same time, like, anyone who's been a Star Wars fan for a long time and is not just like a film person knows that like everything's connected. And I think that especially with like, I'm not really like Ahsoka has some connection. I think actually Ahsoka, as much as I love her, is the person of the like three main rumors that's the most shoehorned in, because if you think about it, like Boba Fett and Bo-Katan both have like legitimate reasons to be attached to this story. Like, the main villain. Yeah. Well, one, they're both part of the same, like really small group, like of people. And Din Djarin is in this, like Din Djarin is in the same like professional union that Boba Fett used to be in. And they're both the same like race of people. I know Boba Fett's not actually Mandalorian right now, whatever, but like and
technically Mandalorian isn't a race. It's a creed.
Right.
Creed. Yeah.
Well, no, but And then like the main villain has the Darksaber, which used to belong to Bo. So like there's actual like it doesn't feel shoehorned in, like they have a reason to be there.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Did it feel shoehorned when Ahsoka appeared in Rebels?
No. Not at all.
That's why I feel like she's a character that could easily. And she also has a connection with like Darth Maul and all of his Mandalorian hoo-ha. And like there is a lot of stuff that kind of interconnect.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying she's a little bit less directly connected than those two is what I mean.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the popular train of thought right now is that we're going to see a live action Sabine and Ahsoka that will somehow lead a trail to the Rebels sequel. And it may not have a long implication in the Mandalorian series, but will be basically like a badass trailer for the Rebels season 2 that people are going to be like, who are these folks? Oh, they're in this animated show?
It's a great way to show people who aren't familiar with the animated content who these characters are, and then be like, and now announcing
exactly. So I think that probably would have been announced at Celebration 2020 if it were occurring. All right, let's answer some questions here because we're getting out of the wire here. We got to get out. We got to give away this Art of Rebels book. This is from Nick's official. Nick's is over in the UK right now. Do you think that it's going to be revealed that the child is linked to either Yoda or Yaddle by the end of Mandalorian? Hard no. I am very interested in seeing what this planet is or where his species is. And I'm picturing in my mind like thousands of them, little green creatures and whatever they're, I don't know if they, for some reason I'm thinking like Dagobah, but that's just because of Yoda and like whatever. But I wonder if they live in a futuristic city or a swampy city, or I'm just interested to see where they go.
I don't think that they're going to Yoda's planet.
You guys are crazy.
I don't think it's happening because
you wanted a bunch of green creatures, right?
I think that like for two reasons. When I actually just rewatched episode 8 because I didn't realize that I think I forgot that Cara Dune was from Alderaan, and then I heard that, so I watched the episode where they say that she's from Alderaan.
Oh
what is happening? C-3PO.
I don't have a child. I have a weird C-3PO.
Eyes are piercing.
Yeah,
it's like
at least they're not red.
My soul. So creepy. Why?
There you go.
Oh my god.
Loving it.
I'm gonna have nightmares.
Oh my god.
No, I'll have him sit on my lap the rest of the show, and then
when the armorer is talking about like taking him to his people, I think she's talking about Jedi, not Yoda's, because he literally says like, so wait, you want me to find this planet full of like space wizards that used to be our enemy? Not to mention, Dave, there was a whole thing where like Dave thought about making the bearded guy from Return of the Jedi canon Rex, but then went back on it because he didn't want to go back on something that George didn't. Okay, like, so if George has said all this time that Yoda species is off limits, Dave's not going to go over that. I think, and I think that actually might be our connection to Ahsoka, is that maybe Ahsoka is the people, is the Jedi that he finds, even though she's not technically a Jedi anymore.
Also, go ahead.
I agree with Josh. I think they're not going. I think the child is going to be both not related to Yoda or Yaddle, other than just being the same species, and I think we're not going to find the rest of the species.
I'm really liking our new.
They're going to still leave that open-ended.
There, do you see a new host?
I like the creepy.
It's an upgrade.
Yeah, it's an upgrade.
And now Chris has no idea what we're saying because his headphones are off.
Right.
No, I was trying to take a damn screenshot, but I can't reach the keyboard. If anyone else can take a screenshot, no, I'm joking. All right, hang on.
But going off what you just said, Josh, there's also the comment about this group of people that want to kill us, which ties into Bo-Katan's whole comment to Ahsoka, randomly dropped in the penultimate episode of Clone Wars, where she talks about that. What was Chris calling it? That they had Maul in.
The Beskar Maiden.
Beskar Maiden.
Yeah.
That this is the last of their kind. We used to use these when we had to capture your people that were trying to kill us.
Oh, I can't wait.
I think she said Force Grizz Maniacs.
Force wielding maniacs.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's gonna show up in Mandalore.
Yes.
Yeah, they've talked about the Jedi, the war between the Jedi and the Mandalorians multiple times.
Yep.
That was a Kanan Jarrus thing to Sabine Wren too.
Yes.
When he was schooling her.
Perfect. Look at that new wait.
Yeah, get them up.
What actors would you like to see?
It's going to be the new promo for Star Wars, friends. It's just a bunch of inanimate objects. Nice. All right. Let's answer one more question here, and let's give away this Art of Rebels book. So, what actors would you like to see in Star Wars? I would like to see Hayden Christensen in the sequel trilogy. Oh, God. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah. I'd like to see me.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I would also like to see Maggie Lovett in
that would be crazy.
I already said we could do a guest appearance as a Cantina Band character.
She gets big and forgets. She gets big and she's like, Star Wars friends. I never heard of that.
They're like, no. We have to have them on as extras.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
I'd do it. Yeah.
I would love to be a TIE fighter pilot.
I'll stand in the background.
Oh yeah, I'm already going to be a TIE fighter. Yeah, you're already good, Justin. I was dude, that costume.
Looks amazing.
It is so badass. I've wanted to cosplay as a TIE fighter pilot for so long. And if anyone doesn't know what I'm referencing, go check out SW Friend Show. Justin posted some photos of him in his TIE fighter outfit. That is just, I mean, it's impeccable. It's great. Yeah, it's great. I was
like, too many Return of the Jedi pilots either, because they have the third hose that comes out around the side. So
it's super cool. So check that out, everybody. Get on SW Friend Show. What actor would I like to see in Star Wars? Oh boy,
I know that's a hard one.
I don't
make Maggie canon.
I don't watch a lot of. I don't watch a lot of new stuff, so I don't know a lot of new actors.
My favorite is when they find somebody that you've not really heard before.
Yeah,
I like the new actor. Like Daisy Ridley knocked it out of the park, and I think she was great as Rey. I did not know about her before she was Rey. That was the first I ever saw of her, and I liked that. I think Adam Driver did a great job. He's like one of the best actors acting in the world right now, but I also was very aware of him, and through like the first half of The Force Awakens, I was trying to be like, oh, that's not that guy from that horrible show Girls. That's that's Kylo Ren, so I like the new actors. Give new actors a shot.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about new actors to say that I want them in a movie. I thought that Woody Harrelson was casting, but over time I've really liked Beckett and the character of Beckett. I also had a premeditated grudge against Han Solo's mentor because they weren't going to go with the same mentor from the Han Solo novels.
Yes.
And that kind of bothered me a little bit, but I've since got over it.
Tessa Thompson.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think she'd fit right in perfect.
She's probably the only person from the Marvel Cinematic Universe I'd be okay with.
Who did she play?
She was Valkyrie, or
okay,
in Thor,
and she's
Ragnarok.
in Westworld as well.
Yeah,
I would like Henry Cavill as a Sith Lord of some kind.
Superman.
Yeah, and give him a shot because I think those Superman movies stink.
They are turds.
I really think Henry Cavill, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, Cavill, but
I would have said Cavill.
We say Rosario Dawson wrong too, but we haven't corrected you.
Hang on. Taika Waititi directs a movie with Christian Bale as a Sith Lord and Henry Cavill as a Sith apprentice. I'm down with that, dude. That would be insane. So there you go. That's my answer to that question, Mr. Ryan Bullock. Christian Bale and Henry Cavill.
I've got a spin-off question from that. This might be like blasphemy, but if you were going to recast the original trilogy today with young people right now, who would be your main?
Why you got to do that to me, bro?
That'd be hard. I'd have to really think about that one.
I think Tom Holland as Luke would be awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I've always been a Gary Oldman fan.
Gary Oldman was
I love him.
I could see him as like a Tarkin character, maybe.
I like that.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
I don't know who would be Leia yet. I haven't gotten that far. I don't know that I really got past Tom Holland, but I thought that would be good.
I'd like to see Christoph Waltz as a villain in Star Wars.
Oh, now we're talking. Yeah, he could definitely be some kind of Grand Admiral.
Although I think his, like, if you think about the way he is in like Inglourious Bastards, I think the only problem is he might be a little bit too close to Thrawn, like the smart, smart military commander. Although he doesn't have, like, Thrawn has like some redeeming qualities where he like respects his enemies and he's not like a total D-bag, but like Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Bastards is straight evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tyler references Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things as a possible Leia. That would be interesting. Yeah, Lauren gives a call out here on that. Sebastian Stan would be a very good visual Luke.
He would be so great as visual Luke.
Yeah, he looks a lot.
He does
like
look like him.
As for actors, I would like to see in Star Wars, I like to see Santiago Cabrera. He's over on Star Trek Picard right now as Rios, but I've loved him since Heroes back in the day, and he is so perfect. He plays a space boy really well.
I'm out on the Star Trek.
I just mentioned what he's currently in, Christopher.
She brought up Doctor Who earlier, which is even worse than Star Trek.
Anytime Star Trek comes up, I'm like, all right, man, I'm out.
I've tried to like Doctor Who a couple times. It's not for me.
I watched it for a while, and I haven't watched it since like 2011, maybe.
I only started watching Doctor Who with the latest with the woman, and what's her you probably know her name,
Jodie Whittaker.
Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah,
that's really the only Doctor Who I've watched because I was like, oh, this is really interesting. They've had a male driven program for 197 years or whatever, and they introduced Jodie Whittaker.
Before TV,
Doctor Who is actually engraved into Stonehenge.
Television. They
have like the
plays,
what do they call those like weird like Daleks? They have Daleks carved in
stone carving is not what immediately predates television. It's live action performing.
So speaking of Doctor
Radio,
Who, picture David Tennant in Star Wars.
Oh, okay, that'd be weird. Yeah.
You can see.
Remember when Matt Smith was in Star Wars in this movie here? Remember when Doctor Who was in The Rise of Skywalker? Did anyone get to catch that sweet cameo? Not. No, I mean he's still on the IMDb page. Thanks.
Can we get
no Rings or Potters either though? Like, oh man, I'm down with the Lord of the Rings and the Harry Potters. Sorry,
yes.
that was a triggering comment.
There's only one trilogy. No.
I got beat up on Twitter. So did you, Maggie? Did you catch that after our shoot from the hip episode?
Oh, about what? Back to the Future is trash. I'm sorry.
I'm not down with it either.
Let's take that back.
Just a nostalgia fest. Like people like it because they liked it when they were kids. It's not that good.
Oh yeah, this is
awesome.
This is the end of the breakfast diner when someone's just like getting rowdy, is just restless. Like, yeah, man,
had too many mimosas.
Yeah.
Back to the Future's whack.
So sorry, but you can still at me at No One Is Chris about Back to the Future.
Oh, that's right, he was. I totally forgot about that.
You get a Dikembe Mutombo as Chewbacca. Just get that finger wag in there. No. Happy day.
Chris is down.
I could picture it. Maybe not Chewbacca, but maybe one of the other warriors.
He's more of a Zebrilius.
Can we have like someone from Grieve Karga's past come in like for a cameo and have it be played by Sylvester Stallone?
Oh,
or Dolph Lundgren.
Judge Dredd. Sylvester Stallone shows up in the Judge Dredd like Boba Fett helmet.
Schwarzenegger comes in.
Oh my god, dude, this is getting crazy.
Speaking of Middle Earth, we need Elijah Wood. He needs to actually
That's true.
He should be in it.
He could be an Ewok.
I'm so happy that Kathleen Kennedy watches our show because she's just going to take all these ideas and run with it. I'm ready for this.
What if we have a new Gungan character played by Pauly Shore?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Please make this happen.
Squeeze the juice.
Please make this happen, dude. Oh, I'm so.
And
excited.
On that note, we are out, people.
I quit.
Yeah. All right. So hey, we are giving away this incredible. This is still sealed, brand new. Art of Rebels.
Slick.
This is really nice. Has anyone cracked this open yet? Kyle, have you cracked yours open yet?
Mine's open. I read the foreword and I thumbed through it briefly. I haven't like really had a chance to dive in yet.
This is really, really fun. So Amazon sent me an extra copy for some reason. I don't know. There was a whole debacle with the pre-order of this book, and there was like you had to go through like security clearances to get it, and it was like
there was a background check. I had to send in a urine sample. It was very elaborate.
I don't know what happened, but they definitely gave me an extra copy, which is going to be someone's prize here in a moment. And I
think you should give it to Team Marmalade. She's a really good fan.
Well, I am doing a random drawing. I believe, if she commented it on our post, she's entered. So here's how we do Twitter prizes. You know, this is really fun. And I want to thank everybody that's participated in any of our contests, and our Twitter contests are a lot of fun. They're interactive. We want to see, your favorite GIFs. We want to see your favorite memes. We want to see what you love about Star Wars, because everyone loves. Oh, that is so sweet, Kyle. Yeah, that's so cool.
Cave art. There's lots of cool stuff in here.
This book is so amazing. But our Twitter contest at SW Friend Show, if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, and you don't have a Twitter, we'll do our best to try to get contests put out on those platforms. But ultimately, Twitter is just where we get a ton of different, just a ton of different people from all over the world. A lot of you in the chat today I've met because of Twitter. So I appreciate that. But this contest, if you're unaware, we put up a post your favorite Rebel GIF, and you are automatically entered into this contest to win a brand new copy of Art of Rebels. So we got, let's see here. Let me pull this back up. We had some fantastic interaction. I love these. I love to see what people post. We had over 104 entries. So thank you to everyone that entered this contest. Anyone that just joined the Star Wars Friends community, thank you very much. But it is time to now draw the winner of this book. And aren't you happy I'm not asking you guys trivia questions this week? Are you so happy that I'm not?
Yes,
indeed. Yeah.
Okay. So have a great Saturday. Yeah. But next week, watch out. So, here we go. I have 104 entries that I have taken the handles of everyone that entered into this, and I have a randomizer app that we've used on the show before. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the winner live right now.
Drum roll, please.
Let's see here. The winner of the Art of Rebels book. It's loading. Is Nor Hall, Goddess of Spring at Nor Hall. So that is Noorhal. Maybe it's Nor Hal. Maybe her name's Hallie. I don't know. But it's Goddess of Spring. Nor Hal has won the Art of Rebels book. So we will reach out unless somehow Nor Hal gets a hold of us, and we will definitely hook that up. And I will mail this out to you on Monday if you get us by Monday. So there are also a few folks that were overseas that were waiting for prizes sent. They're sent. So we have tracking. Justin was following up with Mark on Facebook. So we have tracking for that. It takes a little bit longer to get stuff over to UK. So sorry about that delay, but it's definitely on the way. And anyone else that has won t-shirts, there is a delay right now on t-shirts, but they are coming. They are coming. I promise you. So congratulations, Norhal, on winning the Art of Rebels book.
She's an angel.
That's cool. That's cool. So I'm happy that we can hook someone up with this book. And really, thank you again for everyone for being part of the Star Wars Friends community. Thanks for having breakfast with us. Thanks for going through the YouTube debacle, whatever's happening with us, getting kicked off YouTube. It means a lot that you join us again. I'm going to play some New Orleans Star Wars music to take us out today. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Weather across America seems pretty good. So get outside if you can, get some fresh air, stretch your legs.
And socially distance.
That's right. It's very, very important to do that. And I can't say that enough. Y'all, we have to do a Clone Wars finale episode. I really wanted Justin and Kyle to be part of this. So we will definitely get that Clone Wars finale show up and running. And a reminder, The Rise of Skywalker recap show will be happening very soon. So send us in your questions, your comments, your voice memos. Let us know why you love The Rise of Skywalker. Show at StarWarsFriends.com.
Can we just talk about Rebels instead or something?
Nope. Because everyone wants us to talk about Rise of Skywalker right now. But we can then talk about Rebels because we'll have a few months between Mandalorian season 2. So, Kyle, you can definitely lay out some Rebels talk in between. So hit us up, show it Star Wars Friends. Give us your Rise of Skywalker comments. Let's do it. So, everyone, thank you for joining us on our Breakfast with Bendu live chat. I want to hit you with one more thing. Dark Science.
My gosh.
Yeah, baby.
Christopher.
Yeah, baby.
Look at all this cuteness. Look at this cuteness.
Oh, yeah. Hey, get the cuteness up. I'll get
the cuteness up. Not creepio. No creepio. Get creepio out of there. Cuteness.
We love everybody in the Star Wars Friends community. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for making our day and starting it off with us. So
I'm going to do a really quick shout out to Rebel Art Empire before we get off. They've been in our chat all day. They're awesome. They sent me a care package of so many things, pins and buttons and coasters and stickers and window clings and everything. So thank you.
Hell yeah.
They've got really great stuff, original artwork. So check them out. Buy
Hell
something.
yeah. And Fulcrum Dawn, who's also been in our chat today, they have a Bo-Katan pre-order pin. So go check that out. It's pretty slick.
I'm going to give a shout out to Tyler Page too.
Oh yeah, Tyler hooked you up?
Dude, he hooked me up big time. So thank you. He went to pick up stuff for me, which is awesome. And then shipped it to me.
Hell yeah, Tyler. Tyler's a good dude. I've known Tyler for a couple years now. Tyler gave me a ride from my hotel to Star Wars Celebration last year. Nice. So I still appreciate that.
He is the man.
It's cold.
Hell yeah. So, all right. Congratulations, Norhal. And hey, everybody, we're going to end it as we always do. May the force be with you.
Always.
Later, y'all. I'm going to let it take this whole song out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Let's do some hold-on maneuvers and do some real